Welcome back to Eagle Reviews, guys. My name is Eddie.
I'm Jip. As you can see, Oofs is snapped back, but don't worry, he is coming.
Hey, yo!
Me and Eddie will hold down these movie reviews for you, so stay tuned.
So today we'll be reviewing another Michael Bay movie by the name of Ambulance. An ambulance is essentially about an ambulance going down Los Angeles.
And Bay Lance.
Bay him.
Total Bay. Explosions.
Drones.
With lens flares.
And bad CGI.
And beautiful women.
America. Sad music.
Happy music.
Thrilling music. So Ambulance is Michael Bay's return to form. Return to the lower scale and no more Transformers movies. This movie's fun as fuck.
I hate this movie.
I really enjoyed this movie more than others. I'm assuming. I thought this movie was such a good time. If you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, it's a Michael Bay movie. You're gonna have a good time. I look forward to Bayhem. I look forward to Michael Bay movies. When the poster says Michael Bay, Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Anaïsa Gonzalez, I know what I'm getting myself into. This movie was not supposed to take itself too seriously, although it did. However, I knew it myself. I knew where this movie was going towards. And I wouldn't say I turned my brain off for the most part, but I kind of did. And this movie was such a fucking blast.
On the other side of that argument, I knew exactly what I was going to get into. I've seen Michael Bay's previous films, and they all suck to me. I will admit there is a certain charm to his films, and I can understand why people love it. However, it is not my thing. And for those of you who don't like Michael Bay, like me, don't watch this movie because this is peak Michael Bay. This is like everything he's been building, and then he just throws it on the canvas, and he added drones to it as well.
I'm not a Michael Bay fan. I'm not a fanatic. However, I will see every one of his movies, no problem. The Transformers movies, I pretty much hate, but I love Bad Boys 1 and 2, and I feel like this is actually the one that's the most similar to it, and that's why it works so well for what it is. So that's why I ended up enjoying it.
I will say this is better than the absolute shitstorm that was Six Underground. I despise that movie, but at least this was slightly more enjoyable. This is a film that is basically Michael Bay's version of a thrilling car chase. It's kind of reminiscent of a GTA 5 5-star police chase, a GTA lobby. It's basically just GTA, honestly.
No, it is GTA.
It is GTA. So yeah, this movie has no exposition. You're just thrown into the fire. They build up Yahya's character a little bit just to make you like him towards the end. However, Jake Gyllenhaal, he's straight out of the gate just crazy. Anaïsa Gonzalez playing this mean paramedic. However, she is known as one of the best in the city. And the three of them somehow get reunited through complete bayhem.
This movie starts off with the worst bank heist in all of cinema. It starts off with Jake Gyllenhaal being the best of the best. He has his own crew. He's known for robbing banks. He's the most wanted. Yet he is probably the worst leader that you would want to have to rob a bank. This movie is also pretty much trying to be Heat. So I was definitely like, oh, that's Heat. And the weirdest thing was his callbacks to his own movies. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It didn't really take me out too much. I just found it kind of weird. I'm like, alright, I guess.
The MCU.
The other MCU.
This is actually an American remake of the Danish film Ambulance. It has the same title and everything, the same plot line, and maybe even the same ambulance. I don't know. And it was really cool to see Jake Gyllenhaal again because the last time I saw him was actually in Netflix, The Guilty, which was also an American remake of a Danish film.
For me, Jake Gyllenhaal stole every scene he did, which is pretty much said for every movie. He always knows how to bring this electricity to the film. He knows exactly what he's in, and he just wants to elevate it and be the top dog as always. And I feel like he was the one that's having most fun with it, while the other characters were just there to have more dramatic effect to it. Although I am tired of seeing Jake in these American remakes. Next thing you know, he's gonna be in the Another Round remake. But a huge shock to me was Anaïsa Gonzalez, who actually had the most emotional stuff to work with. As I don't really like her in anything. I see her and I groan. I just think she's there because she's obviously an attractive actress. But this movie actually showcases that she can actually do more than just being
a pretty face.
Exactly.
This movie really showed off her acting chops because there were actually some really nicely built tension-based scenes, all involving Aisa Gonzalez.
There's actually this one scene in particular that I thought was really tension-fueled, where even I was like surprised. I'm like, wow, we really got this tension-fueled scene from with her acting and Michael Bay's directing. Like, it was insane. I'm like, is this really a Michael Bay movie? But then it got to the Bayisms, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're back here.
And then you blow up.
All that gets thrown out, at least for me, when, you know, all those tension fuel scenes are filmed with like really annoying camera work where you just can't see what's happening, really bad drivers, and the film actually references that these drivers are really bad, and it's the most hilarious thing. Like, but people eat that up, they love it, and I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, look, I grew up watching Bad Boys 1 and 2, and it has those crazy camera movements while there's just two people talking. And it has it here, and it just works. It's just, I don't even find it funny. It's just like, oh, that's pretty cool. No, it is kind of funny.
I will say the action sequences were pretty fun to watch, even though they made absolutely no sense in the plot. But I do love that Michael Bay is one of those directors that loves practical effects, and you know, he's the guy that'll be like, no, I want those actual cars to crash, you know, explosions, grenades, all real, fire. Like, this guy is all about being authentic.
I feel like this movie could have been trimmed down at least 40 minutes or so.
To put it into perspective, this movie is technically longer than The Northman, which we will be reviewing, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this movie just kind of goes on for a little bit too much, and I will say I personally was not a fan of the beginning portion. However, the movie does get significantly better once they're actually in the ambulance. But even then, there's like a weird plot. Like, the plot just kind of steers into a weird direction, and then it just drags on for a little bit. But it is what it is.
I, for one, embrace the stupidity of the movie. It's very stupid, but it didn't affect my overall viewing. But overall, what would you rate this movie?
Listen, Michael Bay's name is attached to this film. It's a lose-lose for me because the people who love these type of movies know that they're not like the best. They're not going for any Oscars. They're not like these Godfather type of serious movies. So if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. And unfortunately, I'm on the don't side. So I'm going to have to give this a 2 out of 5. And how about you, Eddie?
Well, I, for one, am not a typical Michael Bay fan. Yeah, I found myself oddly enjoying this movie. I thought it was thrilling. I thought it was exciting. It was fun. And it's everything I wanted it to be. I would give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. It's an enjoyable movie that should be seen in theaters, although it really fucked up in trying to edge out Sonic 2. This movie is not bad.
California dreaming.
Anyways, if you like this review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you're a fan of the Bayhim. And if you're not, I don't know, just turn on post notifications and wait for us to review another movie.
Alright, that's it from us. Where do you go?
Like and subscribe.